Oh, hello everybody. How we doing today? I think I gotta get this thing out my way before I knock it all over, which is normally something I would do. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. Um, I'm having Pesky in my prayers. Um, I hope she's doing well. I don't know her. Um, we're waiting on the special guest as usual for the round table. Should be fun as usual. I just want to talk about till my guest gets here that I hope this teaches us to be a lot more kinder to people and well it's kind of something you would expect, right? But started this morning at 8 o'clock, same games. So that really didn't affect anybody as much as I thought it would, actually. It affected Jess really big, and I hope she's doing well. Um, oh, my camera's freaking out. Okay. So I'll put her in my prayers as well. Um, I hope everybody's doing some fun stuff, getting ready for the weekend. Weather's supposed to be really good, so I just want to have everybody welcoming and having fun, but being careful at the same time. I lost my guest. I don't know how I lost her. Well, it might have lost her somehow because I wasn't paying attention. I was in the chat she was in, and it took me a little bit to get this one up. So we're just going to wait for her. Let me click this over. Um, Xiaomei, hi. Forgot to click that button too. See, I didn't have my orange juice this morning, I think. It's not morning. Jeez, it's 3:13 in the afternoon. I guess I'm just off center today. Well, I'm still waiting for everybody else to come on in also. So it means I'm just talking to take up space. Um and really that's never a good thing. If you ever had that before, it's like you don't know what to say because well, that's because I leave every day that it ends, that any events that happen on that day, I leave them behind for that day. So I don't carry them on to the next day with me. So it really means that I don't have anything unless something comes up to talk about. And I know I have a guest coming on here. And so I'm really excited about this guest because I think she's going to make everything super funny. And normally, you know, uh, I would think I could say, oh, this is going to be pretty simple with the answers, but I don't think these answers are going to be right, normal at all. And that's what's going to make it fun. Um, did you, I got my boss mod over there throwing acorns everywhere.
Everything's all good on this side.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, all of this confusion is because I took a second. Do, 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 do. Let me stop. I had a hard time finding a guest this morning. I thought it would be easy, but it wasn't easy. Not at all. Did you see if she went into another room?
I'm looking.
Yeah, that's a good idea. See, I'm kind of off today, but that's okay. So this is a good idea. It needs to be explained. I keep asking people if they want to be on the roundtable discussion with me. And it's really, hey, Helen, how are you? And I'm trying not to, the big beep. There's people on this side, there's people on this side, and these two sets of people don't get along. So I say I'm on the yellow line in the middle of the road, right? So I want people from both sides to do the round table. And I'm going to tell you right now, the people on the right side, and that would be like Jess, CJ, Red Kim, Crafton, Beehive, all of those type people and everything in between, they're and Parker, they communicate and they're willing to it might be it might be, Helen, it really might be what it is. They, talk, communicate, and are willing, to try, because doing the round table isn't about you and another creator or what y'all are beefing about. It isn't anything like that. It's a fun thing that we're trying to do. What you did when you were a kid, who you married, how'd you meet them, things like this, just different questions about your childhood, things when you were growing up and how it relates with your life now. So that's how it is. But believe it or not, and she can say what she wants to, but Natasha's crew over here, and yes, I did ask Natasha if she wanted to be on the so I had Miss Portland up here, and the very next person I asked was Natasha. I asked her if she wanted to be up here on the panel and participate in this fun event. And then I tried to ask Kelly the advocate. Same thing. They have no way for you to get in touch with them. I have phone numbers, I have all these things to get in touch with them, but they just don't want to respond. They're in their own little bubble, like the rest of the world out here doesn't exist. And that would seem like it, right? No, it exists. It exists. All of us out here exist for the sole purpose of their entertainment. Do they want to compromise? Do they want to do anything, civil? No. Do they want us to be out here for them to make fun of us? Absolutely. But for doing something fun that isn't about hate, and that I'm not going to let you bring up anything that's way out there. That's not the purpose of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do something fun with creators, and not just creators. I'll pick people as well, just to get to know them, what they're into, what they like, what they were like as a kid. I'll pick somebody for that because I think they're interesting, and we're all different people, come from different places, and what you do and did your life turn out what you thought it was as a kid? This is a fun thing to do. It's not meant to embarrass anybody. It's not to show, ugly things. It's a break from the same humdrum, things that you hear on the internet. Um, and I'm just telling you right now, the Natasha side and all the people that support her, I have tried to reach out to them and they just don't want to participate. Not at all. She is telling her people because I watch her lives as well. So she, tells them don't go out the chicken fence. Nothing out there. And if you go out the chicken fence, well, you might as well stay there because I don't find you a good friend if you go out the chicken fence and mingle around with other people. And if it's someone I don't like, even if you are okay with them, well, then you can't be friends with both. That sounds like the most deranged thing I've ever heard of. And a good witness that I saw of it, I mean, I kept hearing her describe it, but I saw her do it yesterday when she was up on Kelly the Advocate's panel and she was having um, a little upsetting incident. I don't know if it was for Pesky or if she just got, emotionally overloaded yesterday with her job. I don't know, but there's nothing wrong with crying. Okay, that's an emotional, everybody cries. Maybe some not more than others, but still. So she was upset, and then Tia, I don't know her either, jumped up on her panel and started to console her, and it was all fine. She was doing a good job. Um, and then just who out of the blue, it actually like made me jump back, like, whoa, what the? Because Natasha jumped up there, and she was like a parent to a grown woman. She was like, knock that crying off. Go wash your face and da 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 da. And not gonna put up with that. Da 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 da. And Kelly, the advocate, said okay, walked off, or said she's gonna go wash her face, and then she came back, and Natasha wasn't gonna have her crying. No, no, no. You're not allowed to cry. And then her and Natasha and Tia got into it a little bit, and then Natasha just stepped off the panel. But from the outside looking in, I didn't see any problem with Kelly the advocate showing emotions like she was. She wasn't a blubbering idiot, she just was upset. And like I said, I don't know if it was about Pesky, who I don't know, or if it was just incidents that happened throughout her day. But she had every right to cry if something upset her that much. And I was glad to see that Tia took up for her, um, and stayed up with her after Natasha left. But that just really made me look at the whole thing of how Natasha handled that. I mean, she has a bunch of crying fits since the knockoff has been happening for her, and no one, goes up there and tells her knock it off. It was very like a parent. It wasn't like your friend. Because if that happened to me, And my friend talked to me like that, I guarantee you, uh, well, I wouldn't have been probably so I wouldn't have tucked my tail between my legs and gone and wiped my face off. I probably, because I was upset, probably would have reacted back. Um, that's just how it is. I mean, I never, I don't want to say never, but I hardly ever get into tears. And if I do, don't come at me like that because it took forever for me to get to that point. People who need to control so badly are often afraid. I, I guess so. I really don't know, Helen. I don't know who is the one who was the worst. I really can't tell. I just thought it was so rude of Natasha to I mean, if you could vision somebody just jumping up on stage so fast like a door flew open, um you know, it was just really fast, and she tore her apart. So I don't know what that was. I just thought it was wrong. She had the right to have an emotion, whether it was over pesky, and it wasn't like Natasha asked her, "Well, what are you upset about?" That's what most normal people do. What are you upset about? Are you upset about your work? Did something happen at your job? Da 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 da. No, that did not happen. So it was just mind blowing, and well, you're right. Natasha needs to be the center of attention, like we need air to breathe. That is truly a true statement. She can go on there, crying every single day, but don't you dare go crying and have a normal reaction. Because if so, then she thinks you're a weak ass person. That's how it comes across. If you're crying, you can't handle something, be like me. Not me, her. Be like her. Tough, can handle everything. Nothing affects me. You got to learn to be tough and step over it. As she says that, she's boo-hooing all over the place. I mean, I don't think she's still happy with still evading herself onto YouTube. We know she's not supposed to be here. We're not fooled. I've seen her run some cash apps and no pay, buddy. I think your people might be getting smarter. She ran a cash app, nope, no percentage. 24 hours, no percentage. And then all of a sudden, she said it was at 100%, one person. Uh, is that a little white lie? Or did you pay yourself? Because I don't believe it. And then she said, something was wrong with her PayPal. It wasn't working right. No, it was working right. Nobody was paying you. They might be tapped out now. They might be tapped out or they might be wide awake. I mean, that's the only people that you can get money from because you sure have. She didn't want to go to Patreon and 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 be on another platform because she would be limiting herself into the money pool. But isn't that what it is in the first place? You're not supposed to be on YouTube, but you found a way to, kink your way in there. Okay. But you're not getting new money like you were hoping to because, well, you've circled yourself with a big fence that nobody can come in and nobody can get out. So how's this work? I don't think it's gonna work. And I don't think she's happy about it. No, not at all. Not at all. And it just makes me, I mean, she could have got more money by doing Patreon and signing up for memberships from the people she has now. But she's not going to get more money doing it the old way she used to do. Not going to happen. I really hope that people have actually woken up to, I've given all I can give, or I've given all I want to give. I mean, I just hope that's how it's turned out. She's done a lot of guilt to make them. Excuse me. She's done a lot of guilt to make them donate, and that's a lot of money over time. That's just a lot of money, and I just don't see it maintaining it like it used to. And now, if you really look at who people come on, one of them comes on, then they wait for that one to go off, and then another one comes on, and then another one comes on. They're like, they used to all come on together, which made people have to, choose. But now they're doing it one at a time. And for me, I've tried to be neutral, but me, doing my round table, I had a good idea that I would include both sides. But I'm not the one sticking to one side. They're the ones who are removing themselves from being included and making sure that I know that they don't want to be included, but they're going to be the first ones to say, well, you didn't ask me. Well, yeah, I did. And I got evidence. Natasha Cooper, I asked you first. I sent a text to your new phone. I sent a text to your new website. I did all kind of reaching out to you. And that's just like the time that you slammed me saying I went to Jess's up on panel, saying, oh, well, you didn't want to come on up on here. You chose to go to Jess's panel. No, I went to you first and you rejected it. I was trying to tell you something first. Get it right. I was trying to tell you something first. It wasn't a big secret, so don't go thinking that. But you didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to listen. So then I took myself to Jess, and she let me up on her panel, and I talked about what I wanted to talk about. And lo and behold, it was about a person who wanted protection. A person who didn't want to be exposed. A person who was afraid of an ex-husband finding her or in causing harm to her and her child. And so I wanted to stop it from going any further. But apparently you didn't want to stop it and Jess did. Don't blame other people for you not doing the right thing. You didn't do the right thing. You weren't interested in the right thing. I tried to get you to do something fun. I did Miss Porter first. Yep. I did Miss Portland, and then she had a great time. And your people crucified her. Your people came in the chat and you just crucified her until you sent her over the edge. Your people pushed her over the edge. She did not run off my panel. What she saw was that she was losing control of herself. She said to me, maybe you need to go back and watch the video. She said to me that she felt like she needed to step down. I agreed with her and said for her to go ahead and step down so she could get herself together. And then we did what we wanted to do anyway. We were already finished and completed. But you sent those people in here. And if you didn't send them, then you need to keep your subs, the ones you say, if they go other places, then they need to stay gone. Well, obviously, that doesn't apply to everybody that step out your yard. If you didn't send them, then how do you see your people stepping out the yard and coming back to your yard? Explain that one. You know they're over here. Wasn't even talking about you. Step in this yard to attack Miss Portland, and then run back to your yard and say ha ha ha. But no, they didn't stop there either. They kept going and they kept going and they kept going at her and they came at me. Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. Don't try to BS it. They came at her. They kept posting stuff. They posted stuff on my wall like I'd never met Miss Portland or anything before. I know who she was. I asked her up here. Why don't you keep your little flying monkeys over there in your yard? You say that you don't want your people running around out here with the rest of us to go in another chat and run their mouth and then come back over there to you. If that's truly what you meant, then they should not be here. And they were here. So what is it? What's the truth then? You sent them here to mess with Miss Portland, or you gave them permission, or they know they have permission to do it, or you have no control over your subs going where they want to go and then run back home. So that means on the third option, you're scared of losing more subs because you certainly aren't keeping your word, which is if they don't stay in your yard, you don't want them. If you don't want them because they're leaving the yard, then step on their head before you step on other people's heads. Those are your people. You got them in your reign. You had no right. None. You had no right, nor any of your subs, to attack Miss Portland. See me, I don't care. I just deleted their stuff. The stuff they said to me about Miss Portland, like, oh, you don't know her, delete. The stuff they said about Miss Portland, you're crazy, and about Miss Portland on my video, delete. And I spent the rest of the day trying to help Miss Portland, and I had no problem doing that. Because that's what you do when someone is hurting. for no fault of their own. You are just, there's not even a word for you who does something like that. Does it make you feel like a big old grown woman? Does it make you? Does it make you proud of yourself to attack verbally and send other people flying monkeys verbally to attack a woman who has a mental disability? Are you proud? I'm looking at the screen crazy because it is crazy. Who the hell thinks making fun of someone's mental disability and then pushes them over the edge further and further just to watch her react it out on YouTube, because you know that's what she does. We all know that. What the hell is so funny about that? I don't know. I've seen plenty of people with sick humors, but yours takes the cake. You're either boo-hooing all over the screen or you're spitting venom all over the screen. But you're pathetic for doing it to a mentally disabled woman. That doesn't take grown-up skills. Not at all. I'd be ashamed at myself if I attacked a mentally disabled woman and made her go into a stage of her mental disability and had her reaching out to her caseworker and things like that. I would be embarrassed if it was me doing that to her. But you're not. You think you didn't do nothing. You think if you send your flying monkeys out to come over here, and you did. Like I said, you either sent them or they know they have permission to come somewhere and do it, because they always do. They always do, and then they always fly back to you. So you're worried about if you fly somewhere else, you're worried about, oh, if y'all fly somewhere else and y'all like some other chat, stay gone. Stay gone. It doesn't apply to your flying monkeys because you let them right back in the house. Hi, TV. Well, I'm looking for CJ too. I don't know where she went. So if you see her, let me know. I'm just ranting right now. Well, I'm saying something I should have got back online and said yesterday in the evening, because of my round table with Miss Portland yesterday and all the things that happened to her after it. If someone thinks they have to pull others down to win, they don't like themselves much deep down. I believe that. She tries to act all big and bad, but the truth of it is, I don't think she likes herself at all. She can play that game of like going, oh, I love myself. I love myself. Look, I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. Man, all these little things she does. You average. Isn't that what you say to people? You average. You're not even average. Because as a man, let me tell you something. If a woman is ugly on the inside, men typically think they're pretty ugly on the outside. That's really what men think. You could be drop dead model gorgeous on the outside. But if you have a foul mouth, a way you act is plumb ugly, we do not think you're pretty at all. And that's the truth. And if anybody tells you something different, they just lying to your face. And I'm from the South. Remember that. You owe Miss Portland an apology. And I know what you probably gonna say when you hear this too. I mean, if I give Miss Portland an apology, she can go straight to. Well, she would have to get to your front door, because I'm beginning to think that that's exactly where you reside, and that's the way that you can do all the things that you do. And you can try. See, I'm a pretty religious man. You can say I'm not. You can say whatever, but you know what? I know I am. And you can say, well, we just sin differently. Really? There's a whole different book for the way you sin. A whole different book for the way you sin. Yes, exactly. Here it is. I've found men like confidence and kindness just as much as they like pretty. I got news for you, TV. We will choose confidence and kindness over pretty. That's the truth. We sure will. Cole D, you right on that one right there. That's a fact. That's a fact. Confidence is sexy. You can have a stadium full of women and that's going to win every time. And carrying yourself like you a thug, carrying a Budweiser can in your one hand and a bat in the other, and you cussed like a sailor, and not impressed. Not impressed. We're not looking for one of the good old boys. That's what guys are for. We don't want our women acting like one of the guys. Not in that way. Or maybe that's, you can sit there and you can convince yourself that you are just sinning differently than others. Just like you keep saying. But the only person you're lying to is yourself. Because I promise you one thing for sure. God is taking everything that I do every day. If I'm doing something bad, here you go. It's on this scale right here on my left. And when I do something right or something compassionate, he puts it right here on my right. That's opposite in the camera. Please remember that. This is my right. This is my left. And he piles it up depending on which way it goes throughout the day. And at the end of the day, whichever day it fills up on is on me. You can believe it or not. That's the way that it goes. I really think people are becoming much more aware of bullying, and the pendulum is starting to swing more towards kindness. I think it is, but I still think there's people like her that are going to hang on to it to try to make it not go. Yesterday, I saw kindness from all creators except for her telling somebody not to cry, which is how I got started today. So if I stop my car and there's a rock in the road, so I hope she's listening, pays attention to this analogy, because it's real simple. If I stop my car and there's a rock in the road enough to hurt someone, maybe mess my tire up, maybe shoot out from under my tire, and like I'm talking about a pretty good size rock, right? Or maybe it hits the edge of it and shoots across there, whatever. But if I stop my car and get out and get the rock and move it across the street or sit it in the sidewalk or whatever, I get a blessing from my Father for that. That's a good act. That's why I wear the black cap. The black cap, my kufa, reminds me 24/7 that my Father's watching me. It reminds me. So if a bug is hurting, I pick it up, whatever, that's a kind act. If I make a mistake, if I do something wrong, you could ask anybody who knows me. The next thing they hear me say is astaghfirullah, and that's me asking for forgiveness. I'm not saying someone has to be my religion. I'm talking about how my religion keeps me in my good side more than my bad side. Jesus is my brother. So we worship Jesus and keep him on a high pin as much as everybody else. Because when God, what do you call it? The rapture, that's what Christians call it, the rapture. I got news for you. He's keeping a score. And Natasha, I'm afraid you got the wrong way. You keep saying just that sentence for all the horrible shit you do. You just say, well, we all sin differently, and my sin in it. No, stop it. You're attacking a woman who was on my panel just because of her mental disability. And what that woman did was show great restraint when you all were making fun of her. She looked at me and said, I need to get down because I'm starting to lose control a little bit. And I said that is a good idea, and we ended it the right way. But you sent all your little monkeys over here coming up in my chat harassing her. You talk about the subs out here and talk about the creators out here about how they can't run a show or run a video without bringing you up. I think that's your plan. Because trust me, I didn't want to talk about you today or yesterday or any other day beside that. But guess what? You keep interjecting yourself into our conversations. That is exactly right again, Helen. All sin is the same dirty rags to God. It ain't different sinning. It all holds the same weight. It's the same dirty rags. Just some of us take more attention to maybe not pick up some dirty rags for stupid stuff. Does that make sense? NC monkeys are the worst. But the part that gets me is she acts like she don't send them out here. That, oh my God, that is so true. So true, Cole. NC monkeys are the worst. They bully you, and then when you fight back, you're the bully. Look, Miss Portland was doing a great job up here. She wasn't fighting anybody. And she got off. We agreed to it. And I spent the rest of the afternoon watching out for her and trying to help her. And what do bullies come here for? What was me and Miss Portland having to do anything with NC or her monkeys? Nothing. Nothing at all. So either she sent them over here or they escaped from the zoo with her permission, or they left the zoo without her permission. And either any way it went, if they went without her permission, she supposedly says she tells them don't come back here again. Well, they're over there again, so I don't believe that one. Or she sent them out with orders. That I do believe. Well, I ain't even going to touch the first one because it's obviously not true. Natasha is a cultural Christian. She is lying to herself straight to hell. That's worth putting up here. That's truth right there. You don't believe it? Well, you didn't hear it from me. You heard it from Nikki X. She's got that on point right there. Cultural Christian. I'll tell you I'm a Christian. And I'll hit you in the back of the head with a snow cone. Yep. She's lying to herself because she doesn't care. I was very impressed with the way Miss Portland handled that yesterday. Yes, a lot of people would have stayed to argue, but she took responsibility to protect herself. She absolutely did. She did the right thing. She got off my panel before she really lost control. This was something that, you know, she did for herself. We were done anyway. We were just shooting the shoot at that time. I had already asked her all the questions I wanted to ask her, so we were just having a good time with it at that. But she said to me, I really need to step down now because I'm feeling myself, getting to where she needs to step down and step away. That is an excellent thing to do. When does Natasha tell herself, hey, I need to shut my mouth because I'm hurting other people, because I'm irritated? When did she talk to herself? Or at all? I don't think she does. I think, is it cultural Christian that you put a bunch of crosses up behind your head and say that's good enough? Is that part of cultural Christian? Pretty is as pretty does. Well, let's see. Boopy boop. Why do people keep talking about others and preach that they don't act the same way? I'm not sure what you mean with that. Can you be a little more clear? Hey, why don't you come up here, Pretty? Can I have a drop link so
Yep.
I want Pretty is as pretty does. Hold on, Pretty.
I don't want in the camera today. Am I on the share button?
Yeah.
Oh no, not that button. Invite. Copy to clipboard.
Boom.
Press enter. Over there.
Okay, pretty is as pretty does. Hit that link and come on up here. Let's make.
She's at work.
She's at work. Where? Oh, like talking badly about others, like they are the judge and jury. I would come up, but I'm at work. Or are you talking about how Natasha does, where she says, like Natasha did, Miss Portland yesterday, where she talked all this smoke about her and all that stuff? She condemned her, like she was her judge and jury of how she shouldn't have been up here. Are you talking about her, or are you talking about me and how I'm talking about Natasha? Because I'm gonna talk about Natasha. My faith ain't the same as hers, but I'm too afraid of God to see. I'm gonna have to ask for forgiveness when I get off here. I still feel though that's me asking. I'm sorry, you'll hear me say that a lot. I still feel low. That's Arabic for I seek forgiveness. It was a great interview, and I asked her some good questions, and I loved hearing her answers. I mean, she was a very good guest. Asking, I'm talking about anyone that does it. They do it all the time. Well, you could tell me don't apologize. My squirrel's throwing acorns at me over here. That's like, oh, now you're talking my language there, pretty as you please. I don't answer to anyone except the good Lord above, period, and I don't judge others. Um, then me and you have a lot in common. A whole lot in common. And I know that's not an easy task. People may think it's an easy task, but it is not. Because I to people say they don't judge people. A lot of people try to say they don't do that, but it's a lot harder than you think it is when you get down to the nuts of bolt of doing that, and when you do it every day of it, it gets hard to do. But culture Christian is basically distorting God's word to excuse sin. Now, I'm glad you explained that, because I didn't really know the difference in that world. Didn't know the difference in that word, cultural Christian, and like a regular like Christian that's who does a lot of singing and all that stuff. Uh, well, that's just it. Pretty is as pretty does. They attacked Miss Portland for being on my panel. There was nothing about vetting to beat her up about. These were her memories as being a child, so there was nothing to vet. These were her memories, nobody else's. So no, if she were vetting for what, nothing, but sending the monkeys over here to just they did it for no reason except to hurt her. That's the only thing you can say is you got sent over here to hurt her. And that's the part that makes me mad. Not that you just keep lying. You're lying saying, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm not sending people over here. Girl, you got more aliases than the number one wanted man on the FBI post office poster. Yeah, I said it. I mean, and then, it's just frustrating. And that's something I work on, and I try to really work on it really hard. But when I saw blatant pain put on Miss Portland in order to put her in a tailspin, that it took hours and hours and hours to get her back to who we saw on this panel. There was no need for it. Well, several people did it. Subs that came from Natasha's room. I mean, I'm not going to point out their exact name because you know why? It wouldn't do any good. It wouldn't do any good to say this person, this person, this person, this person, because I already went into all my comment section and deleted them. I deleted all the nastiness. I don't like it. I didn't want it. It wasn't a good thing. I didn't want it there for Miss Portland to keep having to look at and see what nasty things they said. So I deleted it. It wasn't warranted to be there. And I left all the nice comments that people made. And yes, they were just being mean. There was no reason for it. None whatsoever. Well, that's because I have a squirrel mod that throws acorns at it and gets it away quick. That's why. But most of the comments were after we shut down the live. A lot of comments were in, that where the live is, and then you can make comments after the live about the video. Yeah, there was a lot in there. A whole lot. And so I think it was probably 9 or 10 o'clock, Squirrel. 9 or 10 o'clock before I got all of them deleted. That's how many there were. So I think I missed CJ.
I can find her.
You can or you can't?
Cannot.
Well, we had made an arrangement when she had closed her live that she would come right over here. But I think I didn't get my live up fast enough that she might have left the area because I had a little technical difficulties. So this might not be a round table event. So I'll have to change the name of it, and it's just going to be a live event. But I'm going to get to my CJ round table one day. We live in 2 different countries, so. But I think it's going to be a really awful one. I honestly just wish people would stop being so hateful and nasty to everyone, too. I think I tried really hard. This is why I try not to talk about my faith, because I know that people have a problem with it. And so I know people don't really want to hear me talking about my faith on here without tripping out. I'm aware of that. But my faith also makes me the way I am. I think I've said 6 curse words, maybe 4 or 5 since I've been in here, or maybe not. I'm not really sure, but I don't cuss that much. I say other words. Um, like, like poop instead of, so I keep myself pretty grounded in my faith all day. Um, and I think that has a lot to do with the prayers and reading. I do a lot of reading. Um, when I go out, I try to help. Like when I'm going into the grocery store, there's an elderly person there that's having trouble with the buggy. I will help them. I try to help every person I see, whether it's putting groceries in the car for someone, opening the door for somebody like to their car, or helping an elderly person. I'm constantly, when I go to the store, it takes me hours to come back. And that's just the way that I am in my faith. I try really, really, really hard to live out my faith in my lifestyle, down to the way I eat, down to the way I sleep, bathe, everything about me. Am I perfect? No, I'm not perfect. You know, I'm not perfect at all. But I know people don't like to hear about it, you know. So I try not to talk about it. I was going to start all my lives with, prayer when I started doing them, but I still haven't decided if I'm going to do that. So normally I do, like a little prayer before I even go live. So I don't know. I start to feel like it needs to be done first, because just like this, what Nikki X said, our culture is teaching what is wrong is right, and vice versa. Also, in the Bible, righteous judgment is fine. It's when we look at someone poor and say they're lazy, that's why they're poor. That's wrong. Yes, it is. Don't get me wrong and think I don't know the Bible. If I don't know a lot of things, I guarantee you I know religious texts. I grew up Catholic, and I was at some point going to be a priest, and I ended up a Muslim. So you can get into some religious text. It's very deep, and it would change you. But if it makes you a better person, that's the best. That's what counts. If it makes you a better person to yourself, to your family, to people you meet, to strangers. I'm not saying be dumb. I'm saying if it makes you kind to people, then that's the right way. Um, I'm sure I lost CJ somewhere in the rat race as well.
I've been trying to find her.
Hold on, I missed that. I also think that subscribers go from creator to creator and start on. Ain't that the truth? Unnecessary drama and hate bond. That's the part I don't get. Like, what is up with the hate thing? I just don't get it. For me, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, why is there all this hatred? Is it because there's been a long feud going on for years and years and years? Or did they all know each other and broke away as friends? Or is this just an act? I mean, somebody tell me, because I don't know. I just think it's silly. I will say I didn't, think of some people at first. I was like, I heard the same thing. Stay away from this person. They're not good. Stay away from this person. They're not good. And then I went to go see that person because I don't like somebody telling me where I can and can't go. And I ended up going to listen to Jess. And she's very interesting. I don't either, and why do creators have to keep talking? So I don't understand it either. I get tired of hearing it too. I get tired of hearing them fight, and in my opinion, in my opinion, I have never heard such nasty mouths out of women in my whole life. Not even military women. That's just what I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not very religious, but I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power and goodness and love and helping others. That's all it needs to be. Because believe it or not, some people, when they say, "Oh, I want more companionship," and I'm yawning, and they think going to a church close to them will give that to them, and then it's a denomination. Sometimes if you go to that, then the denomination takes over what you were doing before, just loving people and helping people and spiritual, healing. Then it starts to take over with someone. It goes to take over what you were, how you were in the first place. And you might have been much more, I don't want to say religious, but maybe a little more than you are when you're going to this place, because they have a lot of rules, but it's rules that they're man-made. Basically, if you don't agree with someone's rules, you don't have to cuss at them and lie about them. It's about respect. Yes. I don't understand all the cussing. It just, I've been on YouTube 2007. I've seen a lot of people come and go. Oh, all the creator. I know I'm a new creator. I know exactly why I became a creator. Because I would go in rooms, everybody's room, and I would try to say something or ask something, and I would just get run over. And then I went up on panels, and then they would hush me up and never want me to talk. They would yell over me and other stuff. And then because they found out I was religious, oh, I'm so sorry, that they would run over that too. So I pretty much kept getting pushed to the side. And I'm not a yeller. I don't scream. I may be stern, but I'm not going to cuss and scream and portray all that stuff. So I just said, I'm going to start my own channel. That way I can say what I want to say, speak how I want to speak, and people can watch me or not watch me. I spent my first 3 videos talking to myself. I didn't have anybody in the room. So say la vie, that's just how I did it. I figured someone eventually would, trip in here. Oh, yeah. Now that's nice. I pray. Hold on, I gotta get it. I do pray every day and keep a gratitude journal. I write it. That's nice. Yes. Who you talking about? The acorn right here. I call. I don't know if she's mad at me or not. I can't see her. That's probably why I don't get into much trouble. I'm new also, although I have
I meant a lot.
a lot of content. I'm still a very small channel, and this year is popular because of his honesty. I don't know if that's true. I do pray a lot. Oh, the cussing gets me too. It's just not. I just can't believe it's not so much the cussing. Somehow or another, when men cuss, people are used to it, I think. But women, I've never heard women cuss like Natasha does. And there's a lot of them that cuss like she does. And no. I don't think that makes you look good. I just don't. Sorry. Like, if call me a prude, call me whatever you want. I'm a grown up. And I don't think you're very intelligent, I guess, if that's how you gotta speak with the cuss word alphabet. That's what I call it. And then she does all the signs with the fingers. I'm not doing that. Nope. You get my example without the fingers. That's what I do too. I just don't watch them. But that's what I was saying lately. It's like um it's like they're all picking. You used to go on YouTube and there was a bunch of them online so you could pick who to listen to. But now it seems like they're one at a time is going, not two of them or three of them at a time. So there's nobody to choose between. They're just making it where it's listen to me cuss or don't listen at YouTube because there ain't nobody on here. Right? Right? Isn't that kind of scary? Yes, it is. Just like it's not for me to judge you by your background, and everyone has their own opinions and just love to pick apart people. Pick people apart like it's a piranha on a chicken bone. I mean, is there no, what's the word I'm looking for? Courtesy? No couth?
I can't think of the word.
I can't just let bullies do their thing and say nothing. I don't call horrible names or hurl insults, but I do call out abuse. Yeah, you have to. That's the problem, though. We call out abuse thinking we can put a stop to it, and then the worst thing you thought you heard the worst thing, but then, oh, then it gets worse. I mean, you already heard this real horrible thing. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to speak out. I'm not going to let that go. Speak out, and then boom, 10 times worse than it was the first time. I'm saying that because I'm hearing you picking others apart too, and it's truly sad. I'm sorry. Helen, yes, I called them out on their behavior. That's true, Davy. Natasha can make a truck driver blush. Oh, pretty is as pretty does. You say that because you're hearing me pick on others apart, and it's truly sad. What do you want to hear me say? Not the truth? Is that what you want me to do? Natasha Cooper is a very nice person. She never said nothing ugly to me in my entire life. Is that what you want me to say? Pretty is that what you want me to say? I mean, I'm telling the truth. Oh, you see that? You see that second word? Well, in my opinion, what? In my opinion, I'm not picking them apart. I'm saying the actions they do. And they do. And they do them every day. They do them all morning. So what am I saying that's not the truth? I'm waiting. Are you ready to come up now? Or are you still at work?
For somebody at work, you sure are yapping a lot.
Yes, Cole, we are discussing the bad behavior of people on YouTube because they're affecting our lives every day. Are you insinuating I don't have a job and I'm at work? No, I have a job and am work. Are you insinuating well, well, I'm glad you're here, even though you're at work. I'm just going to say that and say something nice about you. I understand what you're trying to say, but to clear this up, I'm defending Miss Portland against some very nasty things that happened to her yesterday after she was on here. And I am talking about a section of people that I have asked to come on to the round table because I try to do the round table for everyone. I'm not going to leave a person out. And I've asked those people to participate just like I've asked CJ and Parker, and so I'm equally effective on the board, period. So I'm not making fun of them, and I'm not calling them names. I guarantee you, if this conversation was, you know, coming from their end, you wouldn't be hearing the things like I'm saying. If someone is going to call out bad behavior, then I think they should call out all bad behavior. Does that make sense? Absolutely. It seems there are so many that actually need called out. I agree. And I thought I was calling out all the people for bad behavior. But if you say I'm having bad behavior and want me to call out myself, then okay, I will call out myself. Although I'm not seeing the bad behavior from myself because I try not to do that by talking about the way they portray their self and the monkeys, I'll call their flying monkeys. Those are the people that go in and bully other people and send them over the edge. You don't have to leave. I know it's hard to express yourself in text and it's frustrating, but you don't have to leave. Um,
No. Let me rephrase.
she said she was here yesterday. What are you talking about? Squirrel.
Hold on.
Is something happening?
I'm writing.
Uh,
Talk, you think.
I'm supposed to just talk and do my thing. Oh boy. Well, I didn't want her to leave. Maybe I wasn't understanding her very well. When that's easy to do when it's in text. She can only express some things, and she was at work, so maybe I just wasn't understanding her. That's what I'm gonna go. Wait.
I got it handled. You leave it alone.
Well, I'm not gonna leave it alone. I didn't know that you had sent something like that. No, I think you should stay and talking like you've been doing because I know you're at work. It's okay. I'm sure one day you're not going to be at work and we'll be talking on this type of thing again. So, stay and finish it out and it's going to be okay. Um, I think it just is being read the wrong way on our end. So, wow. But if you know, Debbie, let me know because
I got it.
there.
I'll tell you after.
Okay. I just know that Cole as a Great minds think alike, Cole. Great minds think alike. I hope yours is blue. Mine is blue. It just looks purple with this. I love Under Armour. Oh, maybe I just stayed too long on it today. I just had to get that stuff out about. I really was just gonna have a round table with CJ, as the title says. And I had made an arrangement to meet her here after she got off her live. And I stayed till her live had finished, and then I had trouble getting my stuff set up fast enough. So I guess she walked off, and hopefully I can find another day that I can work with her to get it back on. Um so then I got on my tangent of taking up for Miss Portland, because I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I thought I needed to. Um yeah, it's blue. You got two of them. Nice job. But I felt like I needed to, because I'm just tired of the flying monkeys. And, it's a bit much now. And then you know, I'm not doing nothing. Yeah, okay. Tell that to a snow cone in the winter. So I just got a little needed to put some sternness out there about how that went yesterday, and about NC and her little flying monkeys. And I know it's going to happen again, but hopefully I'm going to figure out a way to not have to spend all evening deleting all the nasty comments that they do, because they make it a lot more work, and it's just not nice behavior. But they don't want anything to do with anybody, so I don't understand. Hold on. Red Door Woman. Hi there. I think unfortunately we live in a society where people have no decorum or filters, or just don't care. I guess whoever screeches and cusses the loudest gets the views. That could be true. That could be true. Country Joe will reschedule. It's hard to. It took me days to catch up with Red Country Joe in the first place, with all that happened yesterday. And because she's in a different country, she was live. So I set it up with her while she was live, to do after her live. And that was the best I could get done. But it was my fault for not being live before she ended. She kind of ended it quicker than I thought. So it's kind of my fault for not being live already. But now I know. So that's just, if you haven't hit like or dislike to subscribe, please go over there and do that. And if you'd like to make a donation, there's my uh Cash App is pinned at the top, I think.
Yes, it is.
I can't see things like you guys see it, but I really appreciate any donation that you make. As I said before, I'm going to use that to try to get with some friends of mine and coordinate something for the homeless kids in the woods. There's a lot of them around here in near Walmart. Their whole families live back there, in tents and everything. So I try to do things for them a lot, with food, water, sometimes just umbrellas or rain jackets, socks, things like that. A little bit helps. So if you feel like making a donation, please make a donation of any amount on my Cash App. And if you're not subscribed already, please hit subscribe and please come back for the next wild adventure. I thank you so much for showing up and hope to see y'all again. Thank you. Have a nice blessing. Bye bye.